Wanted to just take a quick look back at a couple stories because you don't want to lose some of these other stories as things develop in national and international news. And, this coronavirus is kind of dominating everybody's thoughts right now. So we wanted to just cover a few stories that I think are pretty interesting. And one of them is that President Trump has nominated John Ratcliffe for the permanent director of national intelligence.
Now, this is our quick look back story, and it was news to me because I was absent when you did this story. So bring us up to speed.
Well, okay. So last week when we were talking about it, he nominated a temporary kind of non-permanent person, Rick Grinnell, and now he's nominated. Although obviously he's going to have to go through the Senate confirmation process, he's nominated John Ratcliffe. But interestingly, some of you may remember, what's old is new again, because he actually had nominated John Ratcliffe in late July of last year. I don't know if you remember that. And there was a big outcry, and the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence basically indicated, that's Mark Warner and Richard Burr, they indicated they weren't going to support John Ratcliffe's nomination, that he wasn't qualified for the position. And, what ended up happening is the president ended up fairly quickly, within about a week or two, pulling his nomination. And I felt kind of bad for John Ratcliffe. He's a very honorable, congressman, and he served very honorably. And I think he's certainly as qualified as anyone else to lead that particular agency, as director of national intelligence. But now he's been renominated, and President Trump says that, basically they were waiting for the IG report to come out, which came out at the end of the year last year and found all kinds of problems with the way the intelligence community has handled things, particularly the FISA process. So now that that's come out, he says he's renominating him. So I'm sure we're up for a confirmation battle on that one, but it'll be interesting to see. I would assume that this time they are committed to the battle, and we're not going to see them pull that nomination again. And, of course, in the meantime, by making the nomination for the permanent position, President Trump imbues Ambassador Rick Grinnell with full power to operate in that position as a temporary appointment at the time. So we've already talked to you about how some of that has benefited the president, considering their allegations, the intelligence community's allegations about Russian interference. And then Ambassador Grinnell said, well, bring me the proof. And then they said, there's no proof of that. And she overstated things, of course. So, but if you don't hold them to account, you see what they'll try to get away with if you don't hold them to account. So I'm glad that there are some people who support the president now getting involved in the leadership of our intelligence community and holding them to account. Thank you for listening to the Morgan Streetman Show. We hope you enjoyed what you heard, and if you did, please click like and subscribe to help us out. And remember that we recommend that you exercise your brain at least once a week.